all eyes on QB Dylan Raiola, and it was confirmed by head coach Matt Rule that Dylan Raiola has practiced this week. He is trending to obviously start and be the guy, which neither one of us are surprised by that development. They will take 4 quarterbacks to LA. No surprise there. Heinrich Harburg, who's gotten a lot of reps the last 2 weeks, along with Daniel Kalen, who's the number 3, and then Jalen Gramstad, who's also their play signaler from the sidelines.
Right. You want to see Dylan kind of pull out of a, I don't know, I call it a mini slump a little bit. Again, these conversations about quarterbacks they can be really complicated, but we're talking about an interception against Rutgers, 3 against Indiana, an interception against Ohio State, an interception against UCLA. That's 6 interceptions in the last 4 games, Sean. 6 interceptions in the last 4 games.
To 1 touchdown pass.
It's definitely, you don't put this all on Dylan, obviously. We discussed the things that aren't going right? There's a lot in the offense that he doesn't really have much control over. So now, why are all eyes on him? First of all, how's he come back from the injury, which was a back injury, a hit that he incurred against UCLA? That was in the second half against UCLA. Got hit between the pads, right?
Well, he tried to basically
run the ball,
run through 3 people,
right, and got hammered. And I think the hit got between his pads, hip back. But he's okay.
It was a gruesome play.
Yeah, and I've been hearing that he was fine. There was never really a big question that he was going to play this week.
Took advantage of the bye week.
Yeah, and he missed some. I think he missed some practice. I think he missed some practice time in a bye week.
They practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the veterans didn't get a lot of practice time last week.
Right.
They gave a lot of veterans some downtime to rest.
So all eyes on Dylan because he's got a new coordinator, a new coach who's coached quarterbacks and offenses at a high level. I think Dylan. I think he loves this move. I don't think there's any.
And look, they like Sat.
Oh yeah, the royal families definitely support Sat. But this is, come on. I mean, we don't need to work hard to sell why this change might work well. We don't have to work hard to sell Dana Holgorsen. His resume speaks for itself. This could be very good for Dylan.
Look, this is a big time program with big time commitments to their head coach, to their quarterback. You need a big time commitment to the offensive coordinator, and that's what this is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what this is. Like,
yeah.
You don't go big on the head coach, big on the quarterback, big on everything else, and not have an elite play caller to go with it all.
Yes, I know, but they didn't have one. They did,
and that's a better question. Like, why? What was the holdup?
Right.
Like,
and some people are going to look at us and say, "Well, why weren't you guys saying that?" Out of the gate, why weren't you?
Well, and Satterfield came from South Carolina, so
right.
I mean, he was he was with Spencer Rattler, but some will say that it wasn't going well for him there either.
No, he's never had an offense in the top 40. Satterfield, and now the way, just so I'm very transparent to our listeners and our readers, I just kind of rationalized it this way. Maybe Rule sees something in Satterfield and Satterfield's evolution as a coach, that in his late 40s, early 50s, maybe Matt thought Satterfield would hit his stride. That's what I thought, because if you looked at his resume, there wasn't much there. I mean, it just wasn't. He's never had a top 40 offense in his career. So I just figured Matt kind of knew something and thought this is why it will work. But Sean, it never really worked.
Yeah. If you're trying to find a high point, I mean,
what was
it? First half of Colorado, 28 points. I mean, that was all right.
This looked all right.
This looks good, know. And I thought
first half against Illinois.
I thought first half against Illinois, there were moments where you're like, okay. Even the first half against Rutgers. I mean, they did a lot in that half, but
yeah, not a lot.
Collectively over 4 quarters, it's hard to find a lot of things to hang your hat on.
No, and there's just a lot of breakdowns. And as I said earlier, now see, it gets complicated in all these discussions because some of it, what do you do if you don't run the inside zone well and you don't run outside zone well and your receivers don't get off the line of scrimmage? Now people are yelling right now and saying, well, we'll change personnel. Who do you change personnel to at wide out? Where are you going?
And this whole like I don't know why this always grinding my gears. People like, are there red shirt guys you're sitting on right now that could come play now that will help you on offense?
Why does it grind your gears, Sean?
Just because if they could help you, they'd be playing.
Right.
Like I just
wins.
This whole notion that I won't even name names because it's not fair to kids.
Right.
But like this player, that player who's red shirting, we're going to plug them in and it's going to change the whole offense. Like now a year ago, they were in a position with injuries where they had to do it, where they had to play Malachi Coleman, where they had to play Jalen Lloyd, where they had to play Jaden Doss. That was because that's all they had.
Right. So it's different now. So you're just, I think their best guys are out there. That's what yeah, they are. I mean, it's not that you're just not getting enough from some, not all.
Well,
you're just not getting enough from some of your guys.
Jamal Banks and Isaiah Naor are their highest paid, probably NIL guys at receiver, and they need more production from them.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying that.
And they would say that.
Their numbers aren't what you expect,
especially over the last 5 games.
Right.
And as they've gone, the passing game is gone. And you can't just live on this steady diet of underneath throws to Ja'Cory Barney.
Nope.
And Thomas Finoni.
Ja'Cory Barney has 38 catches, but it's only 8 yards a catch,
Yeah, it's just little dinks.
Right. And they're not getting many downfield throws against man coverage. We talked about the safeties being high. We talked about them not handling press coverage very well. You got to get guys who can beat man coverage, Sean.
And this is an extreme example, but if they had a Samori Toure or a Trey Palmer that could give them a deep ball, it would give this offense so much more.
Especially Palmer, but Toure averaged. Look back.
Look what he did against Ohio State.
Toure, look back, but I think he averaged 17 point. Okay, Chicken, get ready. I think it was 17.6 a catch. 17.6. It was 17. I'm pretty sure. I'll look after the show.
Hell, Brandon Riley would look like Randy Moss right now at times.
A little.
He's fast.
Yeah.
Jordan Westerkamp would be.
Oh, Westerkamp was a bear for teams.
Incredible. Yeah. Like you just think about some of the receivers that have been here in the last 10 years.
What coordinator did I talk to?
We're not even talking Kenny Bella or Nunwa or some of the really good ones.
I talked to a coordinator the other day from another team, and he said Westerkamp was a huge pain in the ass. He was so smart. He knew what to do.
Great college player.
Right.
Couldn't play in the pros because of special teams. Like, at that position, you got to run down and tackle and cover kicks and punts or return. And he just maybe didn't have enough of the full package to make a 53-man pro roster.
Yeah, guys like Maurice Purify and Kenny Bell would look so good on this team. They need them. That's the kind of guys they need.
Alonzo Moore would look good right now.
So have he got off?
He played in the NFL.
Yeah.
He played in the league on rosters.
Did he, Alonzo?
Yes.
Okay.
Played for the Chiefs for a while. Even.
I think
I'm right. Don't question me.
So I'm sorry. They got So they. I'm just giving. And now maybe that's okay. Maybe the guys, maybe they turn it on in these last 3 games.